I'm going to talk about this article, which talks about the courts could allow chemically castration of a 10-year-old son, but not a haircut, says Texas father. Now, the reason why this guy's doing it, it's a case, again, where the mother wants to transition her son. She wants to erase his identity as a male and convert him to female, right? Now, someone told me about this because they got it from Twitter from Mike Buchanan. And as you can see, the reason why Mike Buchanan gets screen time is because he's ineffective as an MRM. If he was an effective man for the MRM, they wouldn't give him screen time. And as you can see, here he is debating a radical feminist, which is just another way of men having the company of women. He's engaging with his girlfriends. That's what he's doing. This man should be fighting for men's rights. And if he was fighting for men's rights, he wouldn't be wasting his time debating the enemy. There's nothing to debate. And also, they wouldn't allow him on here. He's to be saying, sorry, he's a misogynist. He doesn't get on here. Now, since I got this is very revealing, because this article, where is it from here? The Epoch Times. This shows you what they're actually about. So this is their two stated goals. This is the Patriarch Convention. So they're using feminist framing instead of rejecting patriarchy. And then the two goals is to make women great again, which just translates as the women won't leave me, and make men alpha again, which just means I don't want an effeminate son. But actually, it means that I'm a guy who can keep the girl around, which isn't up to the guy. So you can see that these people are not about fighting for children's rights. They're about keeping the woman around. Now, the Texas father, Jeff Younger, is prepared to file a federal lawsuit if his ex-wife moves to California in an attempt to chemically castrate their 10-year-old son under the state's new transgender sanctuary law. Notice it's first of all, it's always the mothers, not the fathers, that are transitioning their kids. Two, you never see a mother trying to transition her daughter into a boy. It's always the other way around. So that's how you know this isn't about gender dysphoria or protecting their children. This man's wife is attacking her son. She's trying to erase his identity as a male. And this is the hypocrisy you guys got to point out, and the gaslighting, because it would be a woman, a mother, who will transition her son into a girl, and then these same women will then get up in arms when that same transition boy enters female spaces, right? So, and by the way, this guy's conservative. He'd kick his sons out once they turn 18 and say, go on and fly on your own. So trust me, this isn't about protecting children. This is about, as the stated goal is, to keep the women around, okay? Now, the Patriarch Convention, okay, we already read that. Let's see. You need to stop looking for leaders that talk. You need to start looking for people who have done things, he told his audience. Now, this is shameful for this guy to say, considering he got married knowing he had no rights as a man, and he had children knowing he has those children belong to the wife, and she can do whatever she wants with them. So this guy is one of those guys. He's reactionary. He's not action-oriented. He's reactionary. He's only acting now that his decisions are coming back to roost, right? Now, Younger and Orthodox Christians, say no more, said psychology and medicine have been weaponized against conservatives. Oh, I thought this was about his children. It's about conservatives who do not have a strategy to stop the progressive left from the decades-long push to take over democratic institutions. So he's making this, it's about his son being destroyed by his wife. And his big concern is this struggle between conservatives and progressives. That's why guys like Buchanan are useless. But by the way, because this is what these people are about. Since Buchanan actually linked this article, that shows he must be in this mindset. These guys want their girlfriends. They're going to take your children, they're going to educate them to destroy everything you've built, and that is the gold. Really? I thought they were going to take and destroy their children. His wife is going to destroy his boy because he's a boy. And he's talking about things that they built. Okay, he's talking about this traditional lifestyle that never really existed. So he doesn't care about his son again. Younger told the audience that conservatives should use their voice and stage coordinate pushback to reinstate their traditional American values. That just means keeping the wife around. That's all traditional American values is to these guys, right? And oh yeah, and the other one is, of course, being alpha, which means keeping your boys on the endless work and war path. We want to reestablish the previous social order. He doesn't say how though. If women don't want to, like his wife, what are you going to do about it? To do that, he suggested conservatives must avoid setting up large organizations run democratically. So he's against democracy. Instead, we should be using swarming tactics, 10,000 small groups. This is idiotic. Conservatives must launch coordinated, spontaneous campaigns similar to Gamergate. Oh my God. You mean the Gamergate, the losers? The guys who got their butts kicked by the feminists? So he wants a losing strategy where conservatives challenge feminists and their ideology. Okay, so he wants to talk to his girlfriends. That's what these guys talk about. They want to talk to their girlfriends. That's what it is. It has nothing to do with protecting children at all. You couldn't destroy the campaign because there was no top-down leadership. This is a farce. You know, the civil rights campaign worked because they had a leader, right? They had King as a leader, and people worked under them and worked properly. So this guy's full of shit. He says that society will have to take sides because only two outcomes are possible now. This is bullshit. Because really, we need a third option at this point. He's trying to say, go back to the past, which was never there in the first place. Those wives of them, they only hung around in the past because they wanted a provider. A lot of these women ditch their man, like his wife, when they feel like it. He said that America would return to its traditions or morph into one big university with speech codes, single-payer health care, and lunch cards. Why is he against health care? People need health care. What are you going to do to carve out a space for liberty? This guy isn't for liberty. So you raise your sons in a traditional way. If it's about liberty, then your sons would have choices. They'd have choice to ditch the traditions. So he's not for liberty. This guy up here would kick his sons out when they of the house when they turn 18, go fly. So he doesn't really care about his sons any more than his wife does. It's just that he doesn't want them to be feminine, is what it is, not alpha. You know, don't be beta. That's what his big concern is, right? Now, this shows you what's going on. His wife, Anne, a pediatrician in the suburbs of Dallas, Texas. Wow, this is happening in Texas, by the way, the big Republican conservative state, began dressing James as a girl when he was around 2 years old. Okay, so it's not his choice. This boy isn't someone with dysphoria who wants tradition. She wants him to be a girl. This woman, by the way, could just have children until she gets a girl. But you see, shows the other aspect of it. It's not so much that she wants a girl, she wants to destroy her son. That's what she wants to do. This is an attack on him. During the ongoing custody battle, his wife argued that James chose to identify as female, wear dresses, and go with the female name Luna. She's even choosing a disgusting name for him. Like, it's not even a nice female name. This is bullshit. He's too young for that. He doesn't know what's going on. And everyone recognizes it. And that includes the courts that are allowing this to happen. On the other hand, Younger accused his ex-spouse of leading their son to socially transition his gender before he could understand the concept of the implication. He's not just accusing him. That is what's going on. He's too young. He doesn't know what he wants. He said that James rejected the female identity and did not wear dresses at home during visits. Of course he didn't, because we can see what's going on. Now, this is how disgusting it is. This is, again, Texas, the Republicans. The court issued a gag order against Younger for getting him to talking to the media, which he has ignored. So men have no voices, of course. There's no reason for her to do this. Men have their voices silenced. And so they want this child is an object that is owned by his mother. And that's what the courts are saying. The Texas courts. She completely socially transitioned him, and I could not get the courts to stop that fact. Of course not. The fight for James even extended in how he wore his hair. Younger said he kept cutting it military style, which drove his ex-wife to seek an injunction against it. Now, I'm guessing that the courts backed her. That's why you have that the title up there. Cutting his hair is considered abuse by the court, but cutting his penis off isn't, Younger said. And this is where you are as a father today. He's absolutely right here in this case. Yet this guy is not an activist. So again, these guys don't do anything. They don't do anything until it's too late. It was too late when he said, "I do," at the altar. He had zero rights and he knew it. But he chose to get married and have children when he knew he had no rights. So it's a little bit too late to start crying now. And of course, you'd see, like you say, cutting the boy's hair doesn't hurt the boy. This is the court saying the woman, not just the wife or the mother, the woman wants something, she's getting it. Abuse to the courts is when the woman doesn't get her way. Younger blamed Republicans in Texas for not using their political muscle to pass a bill he championed last year. Right. This is a Republican, right? These are these traditionalists. I got news for you, Younger. Traditionalists give women what they want when they want it. That's what men did traditionally. So you can't have your way and be a traditionalist at the same time. And he talks about this sort of thing. Should my son be moved to a foreign jurisdiction and lose protection from Texas law, I will exact political reprisals against Texas official responsible. Big words from a guy who has no power. The Younger, said Dallas District Judge Mary Brown, a liberal Democrat sitting the bench of Texas. Really? So a liberal is sitting there? I thought these Texans, again, were traditionalists and Republicans. But this is what traditionalist is. It's giving the women what they want. He said his ex-wife could move James and his twin brother, Jude, anywhere in the continental United States. Jude said her ruling was for the safety and welfare of the twins. Of course, this is bullshit. This man's children, well, it's not his, it's his wife's. This man's wife's children are being attacked by her. So it's for the complete opposite. This judge is making sure this man can't protect these boys from being damaged by their mother. The order said that Younger would have to be scheduled to supervise parental visits in the county and state where the children reside. There you go. So this guy they were never your children, pal. They belonged to your wife. You were just there to give this woman what you wanted. And the judge also ordered, this isn't even the ex-wife, the judge is saying this, she's ordered the ex-wife not to reveal her and her children's address and allowed her to apply for new passports. Holy shit. So the judge is just cutting this guy completely out of the kids' lives. Now, Judge Brown stripped Younger of most parental rights. Well, he never had any, obviously, giving full custody and temporary order to his wife. Younger is seeking the role back. Okay, yeah, of course, because she always had that. It's a little too late, pal, for you to get on the wagon train now. Younger is concerned his ex-wife will transition James medically because documents show that she took James to a therapist who recommended the family explore gender transitioning. Now, this is another thing. These same guys, these same tradcons, will try and blame the system for what their women want. This woman didn't, these people didn't come to his wife and convince her of anything. She wanted to transition her son, and so she went to them to back her decisions. And notice they're all the medical communities for backing her. The legal system is backing her, right? And so this is what I got to say about this. She's going to California to destroy her son. He was only 2 years old. He didn't have dysphoria. He didn't know what was going on. She just wanted to destroy her boys. This is contempt many women have for children, especially male children. And this is the contempt the average father, these traditional conservative fathers, have for their sons. They want these women around. That's what making women great again is about, at the expense of their children. The children don't even matter to them. And he's only concerned is that his son won't be alpha. He'll be converted into a girl. That's what his concern is. And like I said, he'd boot these boys out when they hit 18 because he's really concerned about having this woman around. And this is the kind of article that guys like Buchanan foist at people. These guys who just want to talk to their girlfriends, their feminist girlfriends. Everything is shameful about this article and these people I'm talking about. It's getting to the point where I'm not really angry at feminists anymore and women. Well, I do get angry at women, but I mean, men are not only allowing this happen, they're pushing for it. They're pushing for it. Buchanan's pushing for it because he wants to talk to his girlfriend. This guy's pushing for it because he wants to keep his wife around. That's his big concern. His woman's moving away. That's what his concern's about. Men are pathetic. Anyway, I'll end it here.